Back into it, okay? So once again, we come off of the 5 chord to the 4 chord, and then we play the turnaround. You've got the tab up on the screen, but here it is, nice and slow. So we have a double stop out the gate. You can use whichever fingers you choose for that. We hit the double stop. Open E string, slide from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret on the B string, and then once again grab that open E string. And then we have 3rd fret on the B string, then open, and then we have a 4-note hammer-on and pull-off. Very Jimi Hendrix, if you will. To the 2nd fret on the D string. Back to the G string, open, 2nd fret D string, open D string, back to the 2nd fret. I'm sure you can see that on the tab, but open A string, 1st fret, 2nd fret with your 2nd finger so that you can fall into the shape of this B7 sharp 9. And for instance, as I said, you can use these as intros or outros. If you wanted to end a blues in E, you could go to an F9 to an E9, and that would sound quite nice as well. Something like that could sound quite nice. And again, if you wanted to use it as an outro, you would just go to like an E9 or an E7 sharp 9. It would sound pretty nice as well. So let me slow that one down for you as well. Landing a B7, of course, at the end of that one. Out of tune. That's a real favorite of mine. I love that one. And for that one, you want to hit that the root chord, the 1 in the 1-4-5 progression first before you start that pattern. And you can play that a couple of different ways. The way I have it tabbed out is like this. And you can see that I'm using a little hybrid picking for that. But you can also come back and hit the D string again as well. Like that, or just the way I've tabbed it out. And you can use whatever fingering you want for that. Anything will do, okay? And then of course we hit that E6 chord at the end. Very cool of Jimi indeed. You could also, that's an E7 sharp 9 at the end, of course, but you could also go F9 to E7 sharp 9. That would sound pretty cool as well. And you'd be right back into your blues pattern. Kind of a ZZ Top kind of thing, and very cool indeed. Similar to George Harrison in For You Blue as well, okay? So what I'm doing on that one is I'm barring across the E string and the B string at the 5th fret with my pinky. And then grabbing the G string at the 2nd fret with my 1st finger. And I think just basic alternate strokes is best for this, down, up, etc. Then I move my ring finger to the 5th fret on the D string. Then the 4th fret using my 2nd finger, 3rd fret with my 1st finger, and finally the 2nd fret on the D string by itself. And then of course F9 into E7 sharp 9, okay? That makes a nice ending as well. You can go B flat 7 to A7. So like I say, intros, outros, turnarounds, they're pretty much useful for all those purposes. So that's a pretty easy one, but pretty cool in the key of G. And I use cross picking for that down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, because they are triplets after all. And again, if you wanted to use it as an outro. Or either way is perfectly fine, but to that root chord, of course. And you'd be right into your blues. So I'm using a bit of cross picking for that one as well, because it's a wider swing, of course, but it's down, up, up. Okay, just a simple down, up, up, I think will do it. And then C9 to B7 sharp 9. And applying an ascending bass line on that turnaround, we could use the 6th E string and start with it open. Move to the 4th fret, 5th fret, 6th, finally to the 7th, and then say C7 to B7, okay? So we would have and so on and so forth. So this is just a simple use of double stops. You can see which fingers I'm using. Feel free to use whatever works for you. But I'm at the 4th fret on the G and the B string, and I think just alternate strokes is good. Down, up, down, and repeat that. At the 3rd fret, 2nd fret. And then hammering onto the G string with the open B and E strings. Get that cool kind of bring it on home. That type of thing, right? So again, we have... and right into your 12-bar blues as usual. Okay, so what I'm doing is I've got a double stop across the B string and the G string at the 7th fret. Bend and release, about a quarter of a bend. Then 5th fret, back to 7th fret, back to the 5th fret. 7th fret on the D string, and then we've got that classic little blues hammer on. Then come back to the D string at the 7th fret and slip up to the 7th fret on the A string. So we have and then we have 5th fret on the D string, back to 7 on the A, 6th fret on the D string, then to the 7th fret on the D string. To a good old E7 sharp 9 at the end, okay? So it really decorates the chords. It gets right inside those chords. So let me just play that one for you nice and slow, of course with the tab on the screen. Kind of a sweet minor blues blues turn around for you. That's a lot of fun to do. So let me just slow that one down for you. And it's pretty simple and pretty easy to see on the tab. You can also play them simultaneously, just hit the strings at the same time. Using that octave at the end, perhaps. So all the best to everyone as usual. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.